to podtrash.com. And let's get right to it. Let me bring up our guest. Let's see here. Oh, wrong button. Skype going. Okay. Welcome, Daniel.
Hello. Hello.
Whoa. Are you getting ready for the coronavirus?
Actually, I already have the coronavirus.
Really? Dog, are you shitting me, bro?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am sick.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, it's been pretty miserable. It happened probably just 4 or 5 days after it was announced that it started popping up in Seattle. And I tried to avoid having contact with anybody, but it must be really contagious because it didn't take me long to start feeling symptoms.
No shit, man. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it sucks. I'm just trying to stay home, and I'm not worried myself because I'm young
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
know
yeah.
my immune system is strong enough. Yeah, but I'm worried about older people and seniors and people that have issues, health issues and immune system issues. So I'm staying home and I'm wearing this mask here to not only show what a patriot I am, but also to prevent me from spreading this horrible disease to the rest of the population.
Wow, dude, you really just freaked me the fuck out, bro. Really, dude. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's fucking. No, I'm just saying that it's fucking scary right now, man. Like, I'm an Uber driver, right? So these last week and today, dude, everywhere I go, the stores are just like lines around the stores. There's people just hoarding. I had to pick up this lady that had kids and she couldn't buy Pampers. She said the lady before her picked up the whole damn box and took it with her, you know. And just by chance, the guys had like two more for her, and she was like crying, like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do if I run out of Pampers?" I go, "Lady, it's not the end of the world, you know. Do it old school and get like one of those cloths and just,
Yeah,
you
it's
know."
Well, as you know, Andy, my show is called End of Days Radio. It's been going since about 2012, but I can honestly say, living here on the West Coast in Washington State, this is the first time in my entire life where I've ever seen anything like this. It looks like something you would see over in the Ukraine or over in the Middle East or something like that. I just can't believe it. I've never seen people fighting over stuff on the shelves or empty shelves like this. All the toilet paper is gone. You can't get any of the same stuff you were talking about here. It's all completely I had a family member go shopping today, brought back pictures, just empty shelves, empty shelves, empty shelves.
It's a surreal thing, dude. It's a very surreal thing.
And a lot of people don't believe that I have it because they think that the coronavirus is fake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm a huge conspiracy guy. Yeah, I'm a huge conspiracy guy, and it's real. I mean, I don't know what to tell people out there, but it's like some people they take it a little too far and they get their facts mixed up. You can't just believe anything that you read. I mean, before the virus even got here, when it was like still in Wuhan, people were already calling it fake. How do you know if it's fake if it's just getting here and if it's still in Wuhan? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you do something as irresponsible as to go on social media to go and call something fake that can kill people that are around 80 years old? You're pretty much sentencing so many people to possibly die because you're being irresponsible and telling people something is fake when you're not a scientist. You don't know if it's fake.
Okay, hold on. Robin, let me call you. Let me call you back. Let me add her to the call. That's my co-host. She was watching the movie with their kids, and I told her she didn't have to call in, but she wants to call in. She wants to meet Daniel from End of Days Radio. Let me get her on here. Robin, you have to gonna come on camera because Daniel's on camera. And, we need to show the beautifulness of Podtrash.
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. This
Oh,
is my
hello.
co-host Robin.
Hi.
This is Daniel from End of Days Radio.
You broke up a little bit for me, but
Oh yeah, this.
hello, Robin.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we're just talking a little coronavirus here. Scary times indeed. It does
Do
feel
you
like
have
the end of days.
coronavirus?
He does.
I do have coronavirus. I
I
have
think I follow
coronavirus.
you on Twitter.
Oh, okay, excellent. That's where a lot of the magic happens on Twitter.
Yeah. Um. Well, but how are you feeling?
Uh, okay, so basically, how it's felt for me since the beginning is it
Did
started off. Go ahead.
you got like tested and you know you have it?
Okay, let me start off by saying that no, I have not been tested. So I can't say for absolute certain that this is not just some kind of crazy coincidental, really bad flu that feels kind of like pneumonia. I mean, there's always the chance that I have something else, but I would find that really hard to believe, being how contagious corona is, combined with the fact that I caught it like right at the same time that it actually entered my area within like a 30-mile radius, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be hard to believe that it's not corona. I mean, I could get tested for proof, but my plan is to just, because I am a little bit healthier, I'm just trying to get better. But I can say that this is not a fake virus at least.
Yeah. And how's it? How are you feeling?
So I started off feeling like medium sick, I would say, where I had a pretty good cough going and like a sore throat starting and just kind of a woozy, like feeling of fatigue. I slept for like 2 days straight. And I also have this weird sort of like pneumonia feeling, like this icky feeling that people tend to get with a lot of wet sort of congestion in the chest, a little bit of difficulty breathing, uh, and some coughing, of course. But other than that, it's not that bad. Like I said, it feels like a light flu. I'm not worried about dying or anything like that. When I got corona, I felt a lot less scared and a lot less worried than I was before I had it.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about you because like I was reading in the papers that people from Seattle up there, you guys are getting hit hard with it, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't heard from Daniel in 3 weeks. So I sent you a message, man, and you hit me back right away. So I was like, okay, he's okay. But I did not know that you had it, man.
Well, Andy, I appreciate you thinking about me. I appreciate you worrying about me. I do think about you as well here and there. But my main thing is I want to tell people that yes, the corona is real, but it's also fake. We know that it's made in a lab. We've seen plenty of proof that it is basically a hybrid of like a SARS type thing and an actual AIDS or HIV type thing. They're even using HIV drugs to treat the coronavirus. This is 100% a man-made a fucking man-made plague. Tom Hanks was the first to get it. His wife Jenny, who was in Forrest Gump, died from AIDS, which is also a lab-created drug. Sorry, lab-created disease. Sorry, I'm all loopy. And then he plays in a movie called Philadelphia, where he gets AIDS again, which is a lab-created disease. There's something really, really weird going on here, people.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fucking scary. You know what tripped me out, man? I could not find license. I'm an Uber driver, right? I get a lot of sick people in my car, so I'm like, I could
Ugh.
not
Are you
find
still doing
Lysol.
it now, Andy?
Yeah,
You are?
yeah. So I could not find Lysol,
You got to
man.
take a break, bro.
I
Yeah.
could not find Lysol for the life of me. So then I went to go. My sister-in-law found out, and she's like, "Hey, I got like 3 or 4 cans. I'll give you one." So I go to her house, and she's like, "Look what it says on the back of the can." And I looked and it said, "Disinfects all coronavirus." I'm like, wait the fuck a minute, man. How the fuck did they already know
Start
that
taking
we're
a
gonna get
shower
it?
in that shit.
It's fucking
Yeah, I
spooky,
saw that
Daniel.
too. And the story there is that I guess there are different kinds of coronaviruses, and
Yeah,
it's always kind of been around. If that's not just like some kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
cover.
So I guess the one that everybody's scared of is the COVID-19 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's like the medical definition of the virus. The main thing is it's dangerous because of how quickly it spreads, and the fact that there's a lot of evidence that shows this might be a manufactured crisis to do something economic. Robert T. Kiyosaki. I'm not sure if many people are aware of him, but he's kind of like this guru for making money and wealth. And he's one of the smartest people in the world. And he's saying that this is something fake. This is manufactured.
Wow, I believe it, man. I truly believe it. Robin, you're feedbacking. She put her headset
Oh,
down.
sorry.
You put your headset down, didn't you? Oh, she left. Yeah, dude, it's definitely. My niece was telling me, man, that there's all kinds of shit out there on the internet, man. They're just people are just freaking the fuck out. Have you done any? Have
Yeah, and we
yeah?
don't want to.
Go ahead.
Could you repeat that? You were breaking up a
No,
little
no,
bit.
no. I was gonna ask you if you've like done any shopping, extra shopping and stuff to, keep yourself indoors for like a week or two.
I've mostly been having relatives shop for me, and luckily I have a lot of stuff stored up. But like hand sanitizer, haven't been able to locate much of that. I don't really feel like I need it. And then some other like basic food items seem to be selling out. Like people are panicking, and it's just hard to get like rice right now. I'm
Yeah,
Asian, so I don't.
yeah,
I can't get any fucking rice, dude. Like,
yeah. We
I want
stocked
some
up. We
rice.
we stocked up on plenty of beans and rice, man. We're good, man. We're good for like a month or two at my house. We have the
Smart.
basic necessities. Man, even if it has to come down to it, we don't even have enough toilet paper because we didn't do the whole toilet paper thing. But other than that, man,
Uh,
we got plenty of water, we got plenty of food. If anything happens, I got my gun right here. If anybody tries to come take it from me.
oh shit, Andy, you're getting violent.
No, I just precautions, man. You need something to, you know what I mean? You,
No,
you need
I
something
agree.
just
In
in
fact, I was
case,
thinking
man.
about that earlier. I was thinking about that earlier. Like a lot of these people that are anti-gun stuff like that, they just aren't in the real world at all. And
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. You,
I'm pro Second Amendment. I don't. I'm not a freaking gun collector, even though I probably look like one.
yeah,
I don't have like 50 different guns. I have one gun
yeah,
that I'm
yeah,
proud of.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not some maniac. I just have one gun to protect myself.
yeah.
That's so reasonable.
Me too, dude. I only have one. That's all you need. I mean, I got friends that have racks and racks and racks of guns, man. They have this and that. I go, but they're hunters, and I get it. They like to go do that kind of stuff. Not me though, man. I just this is for own personal protection here at the house. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. Me personally, I prefer a shotgun. I think it's for
Yes,
somebody that's not super into guns, you're probably not going to
yes,
miss your target. And it has the widespread. It has a lot of stopping power. You can shoot through like thin walls and stuff like that. I really think that's probably the go-to sort of thing for home defense. It's a little bit hard to use in tight spaces, which is why some might prefer a handgun. But I definitely think a shotgun is the way to go.
well, for a long time, I had a sawed off.
Oh my
I
god.
had a sawed off, I picked up in LA, but then someone told me, man, if you use that for self defense, they might get you because it's sawed off. So I'm like, okay, so I had to
Yeah,
get rid of it, and I got me a regular 12 gauge, man.
yeah, that's when Andy used to bang.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I once hit myself in the face with the sawed off. It was one of those that you like put two two shells in it, right? And it was sawed
Mm.
off in the front and sawed off in the back. And I remember I grabbed it, dude, and I just fucking around. I said, I'm gonna shoot this thing, and I pulled the trigger, man, and that thing just jumped out of my hand, flipped in the air, and hit me right in the face.
Oh shit, that's scary. I mean, considering that what happened to Kurt Cobain and everything.
You know what, man? Shit. Unfortunately, I do have a friend that did that too, over a girl, man.
But hey, how are you doing? How's your show going?
Good,
What?
man. It's me and my friend Robin. We're the ones that are messing around now on it. We've been doing it for a few years. We just kind of talk about bullshit and like drama that's going on in other communities and stuff. Other than that, it's
Awesome.
just a fun time.
It was good to see you still at it. Like so
Oh
many
yeah,
different
dude.
people that I know, they just kind of like gave up on it after 1 or 2 years. But like I said, I've been going since like 2012, so I appreciate anybody that sticks with it. It can be hard to find reward doing podcasting sometimes, but that's why you got to make your show fucking awesome. So you love doing it.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I've been part of my community for a while, bro. We've been together for fuck, man, almost 10 years. Well, not all the way, but it started back in 2009. What was this mean? That was our website. You probably remember because you were a Stern fan, right? So he's the
Yeah.
one. My friend Wush is the one. Did you ever see that YouTube video called the Artie
He's Whoosh.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know that guy?
yeah? He's the
He's
owner of
he's he,
Potrash.
he's the guy.
Yeah, yeah. Wush Dishmin.
Oh shit.
Wush
Okay.
Dishmin. He did the Artie Lang saga. Did you ever see that on YouTube?
No.
No. Yeah, he did that. Like it's like a 5 hour Artie Lang saga. So he was pretty
I
big
think
and
I Yeah, I think I used to like visit his site all the time,
yeah,
like over 10 years ago.
yeah. It was wishdishmean.net. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It had like all the. It had an archive of like. It had an archive of all the Howard Stern stuff, and he got shut down by Howard Stern.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't sure if I should say it or not, but I do remember the episode where Howard like fucking went off on
Yeah, yeah, he was talking about him one
him.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like most people probably aren't gonna be able to recall that, but I remember thinking, "Oh shit."
yeah, they took him down, man, and yeah, that's how Podcast started. It started with him, and then we brought
Wow, that's trippy, dude.
then we brought Joey Boots over. Then Joey Boots died live on Podcast. That was weird.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's sad because he was one of the he was funny. I mean,
He was,
anybody not
yeah,
funny, but he was
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Oh, he could hold down a fucking show like nobody could, you know.
Yeah, I was really I get bummed out when those guys die. Like when Eric died, that was really hard on me, especially when they were talking about it on WWE and TNA and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm good
I used to
friends.
go in and mess with Eric. Like I'd go on YouTube or not YouTube, but that little thing he had set up, the JFC,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. The JFC, yeah, Johnny Fraud. What was it? The Johnny Frado Social Network, JFSN or some shit like that.
yeah, yeah, I think it's called the JFN or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people would fuck with Eric, but like they wouldn't really go too far. They would just like say stuff that would bother him. That's what would be so funny. Like they weren't really mean to him. They just kind of knew what to say. Like they'd make fun of him going ack and stuff like that. It just fucking endless laughs.
Well, my friend Gonzo, I know Gonzo Shitcock, his arch enemy. So that I think that was probably his greatest enemy, man. He'd call up Howard and be like, "I want you to ban him," and Howard would be like, "Who? Gonzo," because Gonzo wouldn't like be mean, but he'd do things like, "Hey, Howard, I heard Eric was starting fires up at the, up in the mountains and shit like that, and he'd get so
Yeah,
pissed off,
that's what I
man.
mean. It's not like super mean, but it's just like kind of like weird kayfabe shit that would just drive Eric nuts.
Yeah. Do you think
When
San Francisco will be hit next?
Um, to be honest with you, Andy, I think this is going to get everywhere in the country. A lot of people that probably don't realize that they have it, they probably do. It's asymptomatic, meaning you're not necessarily going to feel the symptoms or show them, but but you're probably going to feel the same way that I do, like a light sort of flu, something like that. But it's going to be everywhere, and it's going to happen quick. I'd say it should be everywhere within the next couple of weeks.
Fucking scary, man.
Yeah, but see, if you want to, you can actually look into people like Bill Gates. I like to call him Bill Snakes. He's heavily involved in this type of shit.
Is he?
Like
What's he do? What's he doing?
well, he's a freaking billionaire. He probably has a billion billions. So he's a son of like not a super rich guy, but like this lawyer guy, and he did not grow up poor like a lot of people think. He was well to do, and his father was actually a eugenicist. And now, while Bill Gates, he stole the idea for Windows from Microsoft, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
from
yeah. From
Apple,
Apple,
yeah,
yeah.
and he created this Windows that we all use. And instead of continuing to improve his software, he doesn't have any interest in that. He's interested in like population control, vaccinations, stuff that a computer nerd shouldn't have anything to do with.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. I remember seeing that movie back in the day. I think it was called like Silicon Pirates or some shit, and it pretty much broke down how he pretty much stole that idea from that other guy, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And he's on record saying things about, there's probably going to be some kind of pathogen soon that does this and that to the whole world. He's saying that before anybody ever heard of Corona. Again, I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's kind of like he knew it was coming.
That's fucking scary. Do you think that all this shit's like all these older white dudes, or not even white, Mexican, black, whatever, these old? I believe that these guys that are older are scared, and that's why they're fucking making a big thing about it. Because they know they're easily targeted with this. Do you think it's like a? Do you think it's kind of like a? How would I say it? Do you think it's like a way to get rid of like the older generation? Because we're so populated.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm, you know, that makes sense what you're saying because these guys are old. Like if you look at like Rothschild and these dudes that are hanging out at Bohemian Grove, they don't look like the type that would want a coronavirus to be going around. They look pretty old and decrepit. But at the same time, a lot of these same people, as well as their fathers and grandfathers and mothers and grandmothers are on record saying how much they love population control and how interested they are in it and how much it benefits us. And you can trace all these people to all these different organizations involved in things like Planned Parenthood and that type of ilk. And it kind of shows you something. It shows you that there's a lot of social engineering going on and a lot of push for this vaccination thing. If you speak out against it, you'll be called an anti-vaxxer and stupid shit like that. But really what they're planning to do is get us to all go along with the vaccinations and probably a lot of other things too that are related to this upcoming massive economic crash.
I've been hearing there's a lot of chatter because I know a girl. She's involved. I need to get her on the show because I need her to explain to me what blockchain is. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, your blockchain is like your Bitcoin and stuff like that. That's your completely paperless monetary system where, like Bitcoin, for example, there's a mathematical equation that has to take place for a Bitcoin to be generated. It takes a certain amount of time. So you can't just make Bitcoins. They have to be mined. They have to generate.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but there's a lot of ways to manipulate those markets now. There's a lot of people that are finding ways to kind of use those markets just like they use gold markets and other markets to manipulate the world. And I'm glad you brought that up because there probably is something to do with them not wanting us to be comfortable touching paper money anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
So if we
yeah.
go completely, yeah, I think that's kind of what you're getting at, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree completely.
Well, there's cause I was talking to her last night and she goes so fast, dude. I need to just sit her down and like have her not drink coffee to explain to me what's going on in their world, because there was a major shakeup. She was telling me she was just going off about I had witnesses, and I'm like, look, girl, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So I really need to sit down. But there's something there, dude, because if this is what's going on, the markets are crashing, and it shook up the blockchain people. That means this shit's really hitting the fan, dude.
Yeah, now I don't want to panic everybody out there too much because my personal belief is that this isn't the first time they've done this. If you read a book called The Gods of Eden by William Bramley, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait,
There
wait, wait,
have
wait, wait,
been
wait, dude. No, wait. Let me write this down, dude. Because when you sometimes you give me these and I read them and it fucking blows my mind. Gods of Eden.
I've got it right here.
Right on paperback. Nice.
Yeah, I can afford those hardcovers.
Who can, bro?
Yeah, and I'm
Okay,
not an
Gods of
alien
Eden.
guy. I don't even believe in aliens, but if you read this book, you'll understand that there's something there, like interdimensionals, whatever. But they control this Illuminati network, and these Illuminati guys, all throughout history, they've been releasing these plagues and using it as a form of population control. You'll see like a UFO out in some field spraying shit all over the place, or somebody wearing one of these like plague masks just wandering around,
Yeah.
like spraying. And that's how they got these plagues started. They literally just sprayed people with them.
Dude, man. Sometimes I don't really like looking into this shit because I get scared. I don't know how you deal with it, bro. Because sometimes you go
Yeah,
deep, man. There are times
yeah.
I've been listening to your show and you guys go fucking pretty deep, and the people that you have on your show, they get pretty deep, man. And sometimes I have to like turn it down or turn it off because it's a little bit too much for me,
Yeah.
dude. You know?
Let me explain the process. And by the way, you asked some very good questions, Andy. But basically, the process is I get so worked up and fearful that I work myself into a state where I just don't want to look at it. But every time I come out of that, I get a little bit stronger, like a saying. So every time I get a little bit stronger and less afraid. And now I'm at the point where I still have a little healthy degree of fear, but I'm not really looking over my shoulder. I'm not looking for white vans parked in front of my
Yeah,
driveway
yeah,
or
yeah.
anything like that.
Dude, it's just. Do you know who Oh God, what's his name? But he's from Secure Team 10. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah. That dude. The last 6 months, bro. I remember like about 6 months or a year ago, he started saying that they were following him, like cars and shit. And he's just been screaming, and like people just been giving him shit because he don't post anymore. but he's like trying to tell everybody they're fucking with my life. They're fucking with my life, and I'm kind of sometimes worried about you because sometimes you go deep, and hopefully nobody fucks with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a woman on my show, Tracy Twyman. She did just that. She went too deep, and she was murdered. It's pretty clear. No one even wants to talk. Like everybody's so afraid to even talk
You
about
had her
it.
on your
It's
show,
funny. Like
bro?
yeah, years and years ago,
Whoa,
she went
dude.
on the higher side chats with Greg Carlwood like way more often than she went on my show.
Yeah.
She went on my show once, but she's been on his show like 5 or 6 times, and he got really dragged into it. He got really freaked the fuck out, and he won't even respond to my emails or talk about it.
Wow, that's great. Hey, Robin, welcome back.
Hey, sorry.
Did you have a question for Daniel?
No, I was just no. I'll mute myself.
You know?
Well, if you think of something, feel free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But I really think that you know, it's hard to see if you're not used to this stuff. But the same thing applies towards like sort of understanding that it's real. You just got to go bit by bit, and you're not gonna all of a sudden like have this big awakening or anything like that. It's gonna come bit by bit, and then you're gonna start turning the corner, and you're gonna start realizing that yeah, there's some really conspiratorial shit going on, like even more than I ever believed. And I even have those moments myself where I'm like, wow, I can't believe how bad this is. I'm in Wonderland. I'm in a circus. I'm in Oz.
Yeah, dude.
I'm in the land of make believe.
Like sometimes I'm real iffy about talking about that stuff on my show, but it fascinates me, man. It fascinates anything occult, anything of that nature just fascinates the shit out of me. But sometimes I'm scared about like getting too deep into it because like shit happens all the time, you know.
Yeah, that's something that really it is good to, like I said, a little healthy amount of fear. But you got to remember at the same time that that really is how they control us. It's like the principal at a high school walking around with a paddle. He's just intimidating all the kids there, and that's what they're doing to us. Like, oh, you speak up, you say the wrong thing, or you step out of line, or you talk about what you're not supposed to talk about. And that's really the main way that they control us. In
Yeah.
addition to all this other type of manipulation, is purely by fear. We're afraid that if we go there, something's going to happen to us. Our loved ones will be hurt, and that's something that most people aren't going to be able to deal with unless you really have nothing to lose. I'm not saying I have nothing to lose, but you know what it is, Andy? I believe in God. I believe that no matter how much power that these people have, they will never be bigger or stronger than the main man himself upstairs, the Most High, the God of gods, the King of kings. There's nobody bigger than that person, the absolute creator. And there's no reason why I need to fear these fucking pedos or these reptilian motherfuckers or these demonically possessed motherfuckers, because God is bigger and badder than every single one of them.
That is true, dude. I do, yeah. That's what my mom keeps telling me over and over. Just have faith in God and everything will work out all right. Hi, Wendy. Wendy's in my chat. So
Hi, Wendy.
not Wendy. Wendy, what's her name again? I forget. It's not Wendy R anymore. It's Wendy the slow adult. Hi, Wendy. And I asked Hansi to jump in, but he was busy at
Oh,
home.
is that the Wendy?
Yeah, Wendy.
Oh wow, I didn't know you're friends with all those whackbaggers. That's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're stern, kind of like a stern. Well, not anymore, But I
I
still,
hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I probably already told you this too. But my favorite Stern bit of all time is Wendy and Gary with Daniel Carver.
yes. She's actually more involved with the RDA guys. That's this other community, and they
Mhm.
do their shows. They're kind of they're similar to my community, but they're more Opie and Anthony fans. You know,
Oh, okay.
so I get their humor. They get a lot of shit from other communities. They get a lot of shit from like other communities because they like dick and ball jokes just the way we do. So
Yeah.
other than that, she's always involved with them and she's always over there catching them. But
Yeah, that's why like people are saying Owen Benjamin was ripping me off, because I was like the early guy to do like UFOs and conspiracy and combine it with dick and ball jokes.
yeah, but that guy rubs me the wrong way. Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, everybody says he's copying me.
Yeah, he really rubs me the wrong way, dude. I don't know, something about him, that Owen guy.
Me
I'm
too.
I'm not a
Me
fan.
too.
I'm not really a fan of the guy.
He
It's
needs to
just
wash his hair.
he does, doesn't he? He kind
And
of
shave.
he kind of gets me as a guy that will probably insult you. You know, like be real rude to people. I don't know why. I just get that feeling
Well,
from him.
look at this fact. He lives in my state. He lives in Washington State, and I've invited him to like get together. He's ducking me completely.
Mm. I think he lives in the woods, right?
I have no idea, but he talks a big game, but I have a feeling that like you're right. He's like probably fake to your face or something like that.
Yeah, that's the kind of impression I get off him.
He seems so angry.
I jumped into his YouTube stream one time, and they just pretty much banned me from there. Cause I was
That's lame.
yeah, cause I was calling him out on some shit, and his super fans, whatever they all give themselves like a bear name, like my name would be Andy. Somebody like, oh, I'm Andy Bear, or I'm Andy, Yogi, or fucking. They all give themselves bear names for some reason. Bear is something to them. I don't get it, but that's something that they all kind of like gravitate to for some reason. Bear talk. I don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Well, isn't like if you're like a young twink, like a young like smooth gay guy, isn't the biker that you hook up with called the bear?
That is true, dude. That is true, right? Don't they have those magazines? I remember someone telling me about that, the bear guys, you know what I mean? And they're like all full of hair and shit. That is that
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that is you may have something there.
Maybe that's why Owen's so hairy. Maybe he's a bear. But hey, I like to think that he's spreading truth, even though he's obviously making a lot of money off of it. I know stand-up's hard, so I don't really know. I don't want to be too judgmental towards him, even though I do kind of get that feeling like maybe he is copying me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
totally sure.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah. So,
last time we were talking, did you ever like have a good talk with your ex co-host?
oh yeah, we've talked here and there. Yeah, but um, so I tried to kind of reach out and reconnect, and it was going okay at first, but then he sort of just kind of drifted off, and I just kind of gave up on it.
No. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
I kept trying to talk to him, and he sort of just stopped answering, and I was just like, oh, looks like somebody hasn't really changed. So no grudge or bad feelings, but I just reblocked him, and I'm just gonna go back to the way it was because, like, if that's how he feels about it, I'm not gonna keep trying. I mean, I'm not an
Yeah.
idiot.
At least you tried.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not angry about what happened anymore. I don't hate him, but if he's gonna be like that, then he just wants to keep doing this stupid thing where we both have the same name show and we don't talk to each other, and I don't even know what the point is or why it's like this or why he wanted to use the same show name or why we couldn't both just change the names of our shows. But he wants to keep going with this sort of dumb situation. So I guess we'll just keep podcasting and not worry about it.
Yeah. My friend Robin, the one that jumped in here, I think she's busy with her kids today, but she's the one that saw him in, I think, Saying Z's YouTube, and he has the same name as you, and she's like, "Hey, how's it going, Daniel? Saw you with Andy Cruz over at Podtrash," and he's like, "That's not me." He got all bitter.
Yeah, I just laugh at it. Like, oh yeah, Michael, we used to be brothers, whatever. Like it's not like, I mean, it's not like we were really that close, but I sort of thought we were in my head. Like I think like he was my best friend, but maybe he didn't really think that about me.
Think so?
Yeah, as sad as that kind of sounds, I think that I was just kind of more invested in our friendship, where he was just kind of like, I don't want to say using me, but I think it was kind of like I was more like a strong acquaintance that was participating in something with him that he really enjoyed, and he wanted to just kind of he really wanted to have control of the mic all the time. Like he wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like kindergarten class. It's like, I stop and you talk, and then you talk, and you stop, and then I talk, and sometimes we might talk over each other a little bit, but we both sort of have the intention of letting each other talk and sharing the space and all that. And if your co-host doesn't really play by those rules, like whatever their motivation is, you just can't really do a show with them unless you're like a real terrestrial broadcaster and you have a contract written out.
Were you the one that would run everything, or was it both of you?
Could you repeat that question? It got a little broken up.
Yeah, I'm having fucking internet issues. Were you the one that would run the show, or was it both of you?
No, he'll probably, if you were to ask him, he'd probably say that he did most of the work, but it was pretty as evenly split as we could possibly get it. I would never, even though he's done that to me, I would never deny him the amount of work that he did on the show because he did work hard on it
Yeah.
and he did do a good job in certain areas. And I'm not like mad. I mean, I was proud of him. I mean, I still am kind of because he's still doing his show and he hasn't quit and there's not a whole lot of rewards. So I'm glad that he's doing his show because it's again there's no money in it. I mean, you'd have to want to spread truth or want to make a difference to even do a show like this. So I'm not trying to make him stop. I don't want him to stop. I want him to keep going.
Is he does he live in the States, or is he from England?
He's down there around you. He's down in Cali.
Oh, is he? Okay, I don't know why. I got the impression that he was like from England or some shit. I don't know why.
No, he's from El Centro.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking that. That's fucking
But you
weird.
know what's funny is he's got like a best buddy named Andy, and now I've got a friend named Andy.
He's gonna be like, Daniel's copying me,
That's the trickiest
man.
thing.
He found himself an
Yeah,
Andy.
it's like he's got his Andy. Now I have my own Andy.
Yeah. Well, in actuality, I found Daniel. I'm the one that reached out to Daniel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That is actually fact.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have a Robin, just like Howard has a Robin.
She actually once came out on Howard. She was doing actually she's been on Howard a few times by proxy, because she'd be like running either Joey Boots. She was running Joey Boots, and then somebody called, right, and Robin was engineering, and Joey Boots was like, who we got on the line, Robin? And I guess they played that on Howard, and Howard looked at Robin, and he's like, oh, Joey's got his own
Lost,
Robin.
kind of lost it.
Yeah, it wasn't important.
I vaguely recall something like that. Vaguely recall that.
Yeah, and then she's actually got to talk to oh god, what's that guy's name? The actor, he called in during one of our shows to High Pitch Eric. Robin would remember that guy from Scream, the one that was married to Courtney
Oh,
Cox.
Arquette.
Yeah,
David
David
Arquette.
Arquette called in one time. We were doing a show, and he just
Oh,
yeah
that's awesome.
he called into one of our shows, and he's like, hey, it's David Arquette, and they didn't believe him, and Robin was like, no, that's totally him. That's him right there, you know. So she's been on Howard a few
What I
times.
used to love was I used to love the I used to love the wrap up show when it was like Gary, John Hine, and Benji was there like all the time. And then sometimes like David Arquette would show up randomly, or even Howard would call in. It
Yeah,
would get crazy. It was like better than the main show for a little
yeah.
while.
Speaking of Howard, dude, have you been hearing that he's not even showing up to the show until the coronavirus shit's gone?
No, but I'm not surprised because he's like the biggest germaphobe. He's like
Yeah,
maybe Howie Mandel.
yeah. He's not
Yeah.
showing up, dude.
I've tried like a couple times like recently to get on the show. Like I sent emails saying, "Hey, you guys, I'll do anything. You let me come on the show, talk about my podcast. I'll do anything. I'll let someone fart in my face. I don't care. Like I'll literally do anything, and I will
Yeah,
too. I
yeah.
will do anything to meet Howard Stern because he's like my idol, and he's like a father to me in some ways. So
To
I
a lot
will
of
do
people, yeah.
anything to meet the guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I tried meeting him back in the day when I was young in high school. He was book signing in L.A. And yeah, I
Real
just
kid, real kid. You say
yeah, they were having a book signing in L.A. many years ago, and I tried to meet him, but there was just no way
oh,
for me to get there,
nice.
man. I'm sorry, dude. I forgot to hardwire it. My wire broke, and I need to go buy a new wire to fucking run it from my. I need to run the Ethernet wire all the way to my computer to get, you know. I know it's man. I bought a Nighthawk, dude, and I still get shitty reception, man.
Yeah, I do like a hardwired connection for that reason, But sometimes, that's Skype. Like I'll interview people and everything will be great and there'll be issues, but I just try to keep powering forward. And my motto is if you just like, at least if you can talk every like 15 seconds or so, some content's going to get through.
Yeah. So, so what do you think is the end game for all the shit that's going on, man? What do you think this coronavirus is gonna? You think it's gonna last a few weeks or?
So, like I was saying, that these things are done on purpose. And what I feel is going on right now is they are experimenting. There's an economic purpose of this, but mainly this is an experiment. If you look at what's happened, like we had bird flu, we had SARS, we had, what was it, N119, and
Yeah.
there's a couple other ones. I can't remember what they're called, but like every 2 to 4 years, we get a new weird strain of something. This one's obviously by far the worst one yet, but I think this one it will eventually go away. And then 4, 6 years from now, we're going to have a really bad one that does kill people a lot quicker and is a lot more painful. I believe this is kind of a test run for a
Right.
future virus.
I feel, dude, I feel the same way because they were so surprised the way it reached all the way to our show, so, all the way to our shore so quickly. They weren't even like worried about it. Like it felt like they were like, "Oh, it's not even gonna be. Don't even worry about it, guys. They're gonna, And then once they couldn't get a hold of it, man, off to the races. Now they're panicking. People are panicking, and people can actually see it. Like I've never seen people like this, Daniel.
I haven't either. And really, the panic is what's dangerous because that's what gets people buying a bunch of toilet paper that they don't need and stuff like that. Um, I'm even though I'm pretty immersed in this stuff all the time, I am a little bit worried because I've been talking about the end of days for a long time, and this is the first time where it's felt like
It's
more
here.
than just yeah, it's here.
It's here, man.
Yeah,
So,
I've been
so,
telling you people, I'm vindicated, but I'm still not happy.
so what have you learned from what have you learned? Because like you're more involved in this. Like, what have you learned?
In regards to what the whole
Yeah,
thing or
yeah,
just this virus
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
so have you looked into flat earth?
Into what? Look,
Flat earth?
flat Earth. I know a little bit
Yeah.
about it.
I'd say that the two most interesting topics that I would send a person on right away would be two. The first would be flat Earth. You don't have to go all crazy on it. I know it's going to be boring to people that aren't into it, and they're just going to think this is fucking stupid. These are weirdo Christian people. But I'm begging anybody that's listening to this, please just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. Go for some Eric Dubay. Don't look at the dumb stuff. Go straight to Eric Dubay. Check out some of the like Eddie Bravo, Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Stuff that's actually yeah. Do you listen to Joe
yeah.
Rogan?
I was into him for a while, but like I don't know, the last month or maybe even more, his guests haven't really been my cup of tea. I like it when he has like rockers or comedians, but like lately I don't know. He's been having like scientists on stuff like that. Like and then he does those MMA things, and that's really not my thing. So I think I catch more of his clips. Like if there's a clip that's interesting, I'll watch it, and if I like it, then I'll listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think that his like arguments and talks with Eddie Bravo during those shows were really good. And the other thing would this is kind of new to me because I only recently found it myself, but it's called the mud flood. If you look into this mud flood thing, it's kind of oh man,
Mud
it,
flood?
it'll mess with your mind just as much as flat Earth. Oh yeah,
What is that about?
oh yeah, blood. Well, basically, oh man, this is so cool. So there's all these old, really old buildings that look like they're buried in mud. Like, for example, I showed a picture to somebody the other day, and it was a picture of a building that was built in like 1890 or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and it's like buried in the ground at an angle, right? And I'm like, what's going on here? And the person I was showing the picture to said, oh, that's just erosion. The building is sinking. That's all. No big deal. But then I showed this person the picture from when the building was actually built. And guess what? It was still like under the ground.
Yeah.
And then also, we looked at a picture of when the building was right after it got built, and it looked like it was already about 50 to 100 years old.
Yeah.
That's just one thing. If you look at old pictures, if you look at old pictures of like the 1800s, of the Civil War, of old townships and things like that, they look very posy. It looks like somebody grabbed like five people, had them put on some costumes, some periodical costumes, stand next to each other and snap a picture with like nothing in the background but a bunch of freaking mud. You never see like huge groups of people interacting in a normal way. It always looks very staged, very set up. And from there, you can find all these other bits of evidence and clues that lend to this idea that our history is complete. Well, I won't say completely. It's like 50% fake.
Our history?
Yes, our history.
Well, I mean, I do believe that they say history goes to the winners, or what's that old saying, the
Yeah.
victors write the history, or
Not only that, Andy, that's a very good point, but think about this. What if I started like a religion or something, or a government started a religion, and I outlawed dancing, and I outlawed all history books, I outlawed all religion? I could pretty much make your entire culture whatever I want it to be.
that is true.
Yes, and that's what's happened.
That is true, dude. If you think about it, that's we just know of what they have taught us, what we learn. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
check this out. So, North America, like everybody thinks, oh, people came here and they took over and they killed the Native Americans, blah, blah, blah. That's true. They killed the Native Americans, but they did that for a reason. It's because they wanted to hide the fact that these Native Americans knew what the fuck was here in North America before the Native Americans.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. I've read a lot of like articles, and I've seen some videos of these guys that they pretty much say that there were giants living in the Americas.
Yes, there is tons of evidence for that particularly. These giants were at least 7 feet tall. They had double rows of teeth, red hair, and they found one of their cities in the Grand Canyon, and
Yeah,
it was all covered up. Yeah. And also the Indian legends. There's a very popular one of the giants they chased into the cave, and they got trapped in there. The giants died, and then some people went in there like after 100 years or so, and they
yeah,
found some bones in there of giants.
yeah. And I think I was hearing this one guy, this professor, saying that they found a burial a burial plot of giants over in Catalina Island, and they say they don't know why. They just, whenever they find something like that, they just ship that shit away right away, and they can't even study it, or it's like locked up in some Smithsonian, or like crazy
Well,
shit
the
like
thing,
that.
yeah, yeah. The thing is, anytime anybody finds any big bones, they're just going to say they're dinosaur bones.
Yeah,
That's why we have this whole concept of the dinosaurs. I mean, we don't really know what the dinosaurs look like. We grab a leg and we stick it to the spine and we just kind of build them as we go. But they could have been giant humans. They could have been dragons. There's so many different things that those bones could be. Like, there's so many dinosaurs that we found out were not actual like real dinosaurs, and they had to rebuild them. And
yeah.
the same thing applies to giants. We would never know if there were giant bones unless we found some skulls,
Well,
which we have found.
yeah, they saved, they have them. They just won't bring them out. They
and you and you can view them. You can view them in certain museums that aren't controlled by the whole thing we have going in this country. If you go to like Mesoamerica,
hmm
there's museums where you can see the skulls. They're big skulls that have cone-shaped heads and multiple rows of teeth, and they've done DNA tests on them and stuff like that. And they just say, oh, it's just a big tall person. They stuck some boards on their head and some rope, and they smashed their head into a cone. Like,
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
it's
right.
they're just these smart dudes, man, that make these lectures, man. If you sit down and just analyze that shit, you start seeing patterns, man. You start seeing
Yeah, and that's what I
patterns.
do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I mean, I've had the opportunity to sit there and talk with some of the smartest and most genius people in the world since 2012. I've been doing the show, and it's just all their stuff, just all piled on top of each other, and the dots connected. And I'm just kind of regurgitating what I feel is true from all of that. So I've been lucky enough. I think I'm a little above average intelligence, but really, I'm just putting it together, and that's something that everybody can do.
Yeah, dude. I really like it. I really enjoy your shows, bro. You have some interesting people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
If
you.
anything, dude, I would love to borrow your friend, that crazy shaman guy, man. Or you gotta have him on again. That shaman
Yeah,
guy. Do you know what I'm
that's
talking about?
the. Are you talking about Todd or Al
No, no,
or
no. There's
Wolfman?
the Wolf Man. The Wolf
Oh,
Man.
okay.
That's
See,
who I'm
now that's
talking about.
somebody. If you introduced him to Stern, Stern would want that guy. I know it.
Yeah, that was like one of the guys that I first heard you on with when I found you. Even your now you know how you have that your intro, the one that you have right
Yeah,
now. It's all woo woo woo. Woo. Do you know
yeah.
the one that you have that? You had another one before that that had that guy Wolfman in it, and
Oh.
that was. Do you have it? Can you play that real quick?
Oh man, I wouldn't even know which one it is. Like I have so many.
Yeah, it's the one where
I have
he's
so
singing. He's like, he starts. I haven't heard it in a while, dude, and that was like my favorite intro. You have the new one that you have. The new one that you have, it's kind of like more of a woo woo woo, right? It's kind of like starts off with like woo woo like that. But that one,
Let's
the one that
see.
was the one with him was more of a rocking tune. It was more of a.
Oh, that was actually Todd that did that.
Oh,
Let's see
did
if
he?
it's this one right.
Are you playing it?
Does that sound like it?
I can't hear it, bro.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. Let's see here. Nope. There's no way that I can feed that
Is it on YouTube?
through.
Is it
No,
on
can't.
YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
Uh, I no, I don't. I know what I'll do. I'll turn my speakers up, and I'll turn my. Yeah, all I have to do is turn my speakers up. That should do it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I still can't hear it. I still can't hear it. Hello?
Oh, okay, that's not working out.
Yeah. I think
No.
I did hear like a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, it's. I gotta feed it in properly. That's not gonna work that
Do
way.
you have a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube link?
Yeah,
Let's see if I can get it on
yeah,
YouTube.
that's where I post on.
All right, hold on.
No, you'd have to go to like one of the really old shows. I'm not sure which ones even have that one, but I
Hmm.
know what you're talking about. I mean, let's see. Can I just send it to you through Skype or something?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That'll work.
Let's see. Open conversation. Add files. Ooh, sorry for the wait,
Yeah,
all of you out there.
it's a. Sometimes you can't hear the music that I play though through Skype for some reason. I don't know why
Oh, really?
Skype does that. That's why I like using my. I like using Discord. We use Discord more for doing shows now instead of Skype. Do you have your own Discord, Daniel?
Okay, that should be. No, still haven't set that up yet. I've been slacking on that. I'm supposed to set up some Bitcoin stuff too, and I've just been like so consumed with this virus thing and trying to get everything together, work my job and everything. It's just like nonstop, just gotta do this, gotta do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like busy, busy.
Can you hear that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have it playing right now.
Did you get it?
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's it. Okay. Thanks, man. I'm gonna have that. I think I'm gonna use that as my ringtone. Okay.
That's funny that you like that song. That's gonna stroke Todd's ego like
Okay. As long as it's just
crazy.
his ego, man, because I don't want to stroke anything else. Just his ego.
I
So
actually wrote the lyrics for that song.
is
He
that
performed them.
is that Todd singing?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh no shit! I always thought it was the Wolf Man.
Man, you're making me want to bring that song back. You're making me like reminisce.
Yeah, that dude was good, man. He was
Wolfman does flat Earth heads. You know that they lied to us. They lied to us. Flat Earth heads. I love that song too. It's so funny. They lied to us.
yeah, man. It was like one of those that like you can't forget. There were, you had a lot of good guys on there, man. There was and then sometimes I'll listen to. I think you had this one guy. He was tripping me out on He was talking about Pandora and how if you would ask a certain question, the song would answer the question that you were asking.
Oh man, that was the guy talking about Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that one.
how God is like in the synchronicity, and basically you can just turn the radio to any station and you can like talk to it.
Yeah, yeah, that one kind of freaked me out too because I kind of did kind of test it out, and I asked a certain question, and the fucking song that came on kind of answered it in a way, and like that kind of like freaked me out, dude. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. You
Yeah, that
know?
was Nathan Sanders, and I could really say that that sort of thing's been happening to me my whole life. And I do believe those messages can come from the dark side as well, but I do
Yes,
believe yeah, I do believe we do get messages from the good side too. So
yes. I also
numbers, stuff like
believe
that.
that, man. I also believe that. You just gotta be careful. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
hmm
there's a lot of false prophets out there.
You know what? I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I believe that our generation prophets are the Simpsons.
Based on some of the stuff I've been seeing on social media, that
Scary
seems to
shit.
be the
Yeah,
case.
they've been right on a lot of shit, man. They've been right on a lot of shit. You know, like yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
you know,
verified
it would
shit.
be
You know.
good to like put together some sort of yeah. The Trump thing is what got me. The thing coming down the elevator that just blew my
Yes,
mind.
yes, and I specifically remember. I specifically remember that episode because I laughed and I said, "Oh, come on, Trump president." You know, I remember thinking that Trump president. Come on, come
But
on. You
he
know.
wasn't even looking into it at the time. He wasn't anywhere near that any of that stuff. Like, how's that even possible?
Yeah, dude. It's just so, yeah. They're probably like
They
yeah. There's probably a prophet running around back there that we don't know of. He probably doesn't even know it himself. You know.
they've done flat Earth stuff like years and years before anybody was even into flat Earth. Like nobody would ever talk about flat Earth, and they were doing like shit with a dome, like the baseball hitting the dome and cracking, all this
That's
water
true.
comes through, and then like a yeah, a well comes through, like there's
Yeah,
water up there.
yeah. There was actually an episode where they domed the city. Do you remember that? They domed Springfield. I
Ah,
think it was the movie, dude. Remember Simpsons the movie?
oh, that's
You
right.
remember they
Yeah,
domed the fucking city, dude, and they were trying to find a
that's
way out
fucking
of it.
trippy.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's other things too, like NSA spying. There's that episode with Lisa, and she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, I can't remember if it was a dream she was having or what, but basically, like the whole thing was about NSA spying, and she even went to this room with like all these computers and these people spying on the whole country.
Well, there was an episode too where they Do you remember the one where she goes to a gypsy lady and shows her future? And she's like, they're like she's walking by in college or something, and they were like showing
Oh,
a pamphlet.
breaking up.
They were showing a pamphlet. She was like in college, and on the thing it said 9, and then it had the twin towers like 9/11, and they had like a plane going like it. I'll send it to you on Twitter, dude. It was a fucking trippy one too.
Yes, I like all that stuff. I've been trying to kind of collect all the different predictive programming in The Simpsons, but there's literally so much of it, I can't keep track of all of it.
As
And
long
I'm
as
not exaggerating at all. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, it's like thousands.
yeah. As long as I've been longer, I that fucking show came out when I was in fucking elementary, bro. You know, and I'm 45 now, so that's been on for a long fucking time.
Yeah, exactly. And there was other ones that were good too, like Ren and Stimpy came out kind of after, and then Beavis and Butthead. I'm not sure if you remember them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, South Park, of course. A lot of young kids, they don't even know what South Park is, which blows my mind.
Yeah, it's all about right now for the kids. It's all about some little kid that opens up like presents and shit or on YouTube. This little Asian kid. My nephews, they all watch him. They all watch him. They all watch this little kid open up toys, man. That's all they love watching. I don't get it.
yeah, there's too much competition nowadays. That's why it's so hard to like you don't see shows and stuff like when I was a kid, it was all about waiting for like Friday night to watch TGIF and watch Urkel and Sabrina, Boy Meets World.
Oh,
Did
Topanga.
I do that?
Topanga.
Oh, Topanga, Topanga. Oh, the girl of our dreams, Topanga.
Topanga. That was. She was like after
And
like I
Kelly
remember
from Saved by the
that was
Bell.
my generation right there. Kelly and Kelly Bundy.
What were you about to say about Topanga?
No, I'm just saying Topanga. She was like already on my radar as I would pass by the TV and my nephews or my little brothers would be watching Boy Meets Girl, and I remember seeing that girl and I'm like, damn, that girl looks way too overdeveloped to be playing a little girl. Like at a young age, she was like very well developed, right?
Yeah, it's funny how like we all thought we were that was our thing. Like we thought that having a crush on Topanga was like our thing. Like we had this romance going on in our heads, and then 20 years later, we find out like every other guy around our age thought the exact fucking same thing.
Well, yeah, yeah. Pretty much everybody in my generation wanted to bang Kelly Bundy or Kelly from uh, Saved by the Bell. You know, those are the
Oh,
chicks. I actually got to see the one of the Saved by the Bell shows.
what's up?
I actually got to see one of the filming of the Saved by the Bell. My teacher,
Oh,
yeah,
they used to do that.
my teacher, he took us to go see
That's
the
awesome.
he took us to go see the episode where Kelly, they're learning how to drive, and she's driving and they crash or some shit like that. But they had to keep fucking retaping that crashing because every time she crashed, she would say "oh fuck," and then they were like, "oh, we can't use that. You can't be saying bad words," you know.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, right?
Oh, why? Why?
They're but the other cast members on the show have banned Screech. They all hate
They all
Screech
fucking hate him. Yeah,
because he talked all that shit about them in
Oh
the
yeah.
book. He made a bunch of stupid ass lies. Like he said, Slater was like fucking Kelly and all this stupid shit. He's on steroids,
Yeah, dude.
which maybe was true.
Who knows? But still, you don't say shit like that. Like the dude just wanted to fucking. He wanted to fucking make money off his book, you know. Shit like that sells, and they all kind of basically called him out on it, dude. They were like, that's a
Yeah.
fucked up. That's fucked up to do, man. So they banned his ass. So what are they gonna do? The Saved by the Bell, the fucking, the 50-year-old, because they're like in their 50s by now, I guess.
Well, right after Saved by the Bell, they had Saved by the Bell: The New Class, and they also had Saved by the Bell: The College Years. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
both of those shows flopped.
Yeah, they tanked.
But now reboots are popular. We've had Fuller House, we've had Roseanne, which turned into kind of a semi-disaster, but people still watch it. Several other ones too, but it might work, it might not. It probably will because those things are popular right now. But what they did to Roseanne was fucked. That was just
Yeah,
wrong at every level.
what's fucked is that the whole cast kind of like turned their. Well, I don't know if they turned their back on her, but they all kind of just said, "Okay, yeah, let's go on without her." When it was her show, like that was pretty
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah. I sort of understand that because everybody needs to work and get
Yeah,
paid,
yeah,
et
yeah.
cetera, et cetera. But it was obviously politically motivated. As soon as I watched that first episode and Roseanne was going on there with all this right wing sort of political view and talking about Trump and all that, I knew her days were numbered. I was like, no, this is too controversial. They're gonna come after her. The networks, they're a lot more like liberal minded, I think.
In this day of age, you gotta be careful of what you say now because everything's recorded. Especially us that are in this internet thing, in the YouTube thing and the podcasting thing, they could take things that you say out of context and just run with it. And I've seen it done many times. Like there was,
Text messaging.
yeah, So like, there's this guy Cosmic. He's from the RDA community, right? And he was having a conversation with the therapist on the YouTube channel, and he was basically saying that they're talking about rape. You know, like if someone gets raped, or like for a guy is getting not raped, but he's getting like having sex without his will. You know, but at the time that he's having it, it feels good to him, even though he's not a willing participant, but it feels about to nut. He's about to get his nut on, but it's happening that they're making him have sex. But I forgot how. But they kind of ran with it, dude, and they took what he was saying, saying that, oh, he's a pedophile because he's saying that kids at that age, you know, I forgot how it went, but they just kind of took everything he was saying out of context, and it's happened multiple times to people on YouTube, dude. They take
Yeah.
a sentence that
Did
some
you
yeah.
see that whole thing with this is really unrelated, but it's kind of. Did you see that whole thing between Nick Cannon and Eminem?
I did actually. My friend Wush, he actually did a show about that. He broke that down.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we've been listening to Eminem for like 20, 30 years, and most people weren't aware of the fact that Eminem had that song where he's like saying racist stuff about black women.
Yeah,
I was pretty shocked about that. I never knew anything about that. But at the same time, like looking back, don't you think that Eminem probably saw himself as a black guy at the time, and he was thinking of himself as a black guy that wants to date white women?
yeah, and I think it was that was taken out of context too. It was like a song, but he was portraying something. I forgot how Wush broke it down, but yeah, I was listening to that, and I was surprised that, you know. So you got to be careful of shit that you say, because you know, even Stern's gotten it. You know, I mean, Stern used to say some fucking pretty
Yeah.
crazy shit back
Oh
in the
yeah.
day, and like people try to bring up old shit, but why you gotta bring up old shit? You know, I've even said some wacky
Yeah. I
shit.
wish
You
I
know,
wish I had half the balls that Howard did back like in the
oh
80s.
my god, he was a phenom back then. I think they're almost done, because they're cleaning house, dude. Like, that guy Brent, they fired him. Ronnie's gone. They fired the engineer, Scott the engineer. They're cleaning house over there.
Yeah, I noticed that. It started years and years ago when they started breaking up the news crew. They got rid of what was that guy's name? It was Lisa, uh, the
Lisa,
guy that would
yeah, Lisa
really just
G,
like
yeah,
up in
yeah,
people's faces. I'm having trouble.
yeah. No, I know who you're talking about.
Steve,
Yeah,
yeah, before the other guy, they replaced him with the Jewish guy. But
yeah, yeah.
the original news guy, I feel bad for not remembering his name, but he was just like
Oh, Steve
hardcore. He was like
Langford.
Steve Langford, yeah.
Steve
Steve Langford
Langford takes shits at work. Oh no, wait, that's Lisa G. Huh?
Lisa G thinks shit's at
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Steve Langford, I think, was Steve Langford. Fuck, what was his song?
Oh,
I
dude,
f-
Lisa G fucked up so bad with
uh,
Howard. Holy
oh
shit.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It was obvious why she lost her job selling those cookies.
Yeah, selling cookies, trying to make money off her name. You know.
Yeah, you could tell like that was it for Howard. He's gonna get rid of her. He never says it, but you just know like what he's thinking.
Yeah. Well,
Because he's too nice.
she saw everybody making money, so she's like, "Why?" She even said, "Fuck, I see everybody making. Why can't I make money off this?" You know. I think she even said that, dude, and I think that's what got her fired too. Yeah, you're right.
I think it had something to do with the fact that, whew, like, it just seemed like a ripoff the way she was doing the sit down and the cookies and everything. It's not like
Yeah.
she was. It
Well,
just felt a little bit sleazy, like she's jacking up the prices. Whereas going to a show and paying like $25 to see all the guys from Stern seems like more of a good value.
and they had they would have comedians up there. You get to see Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? You know, Eric the Midget was there a few times.
Well, what it was that, see, Lisa G, she would not participate in things on the show, but she still wanted to make the money. That's the difference between Ronnie and Sal and Richard and Lisa G. She was never willing to really just like be humiliated, like some of the other people are. Really, you got to be willing. Like Baba Boo, I could never take abuse like that. I'd go crazy. But he's superhuman in the sense that he can take shit every day for hours and hours and not feel horrible about himself and not want to kill himself. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, man, I would have fucking left the show a long time ago. Man, he got fucked with hard, man. That's what.
You
That's why
fucking
sometimes,
tauntaun
yeah.
toothy horse face, baba monkey.
That's why sometimes I'll get mad at Sal because Sal just jumped into the show fucking with Gary the way Howard did because he said, "Well, if Howard can do it, I can do it." But then again, you don't get to do that because you weren't there from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I love that stuff though. Sal and
oh
Gary.
my God,
Oh, your
Sal was.
horse teeth jackass.
I remember, dude. I remember the greatest thing Gary ever did to
And
me.
then here
Uh huh.
relationship with his wife.
Yeah, dude,
What
that
was
was
that?
weird. Yeah, dude, the greatest thing I ever heard Gary do, man. Sal. Okay, Gary fucked up in something, right? And then Sal came in, right? And he's telling Howard,
Yeah,
"Well, you know what, Howard? This is your problem. You got a producer." You know, he starts going off on Gary, right? And then Gary turns it
yeah.
around on him, right, and goes, "Hey, Howard, Sal's taking comedy lessons from a comedian." And then everybody just starts jumping on Sal, and Sal's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" He's like, "We're talking about Gary. How did this turn out? You know, how did everything get switched up on me?" And then Gary goes to him. He's like, "Welcome to the Howard Stern show, asshole."
Oh my god, I love that stuff.
Oh
Just
my
about
god.
anything with Sal ends up being fucking
Yeah, yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
just he's what he is kind of like Gary in the sense that he is willing to totally humiliate himself to entertain people. Like he's in so much like gay shit with Richard. And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's gay at all. Richard probably is, but he the fact that he'd be willing to do any of that stuff, like I kind of respect that on some level, even though it's you're kind of being made a jackass of. I have to respect somebody that can take that much abuse and like do it all for
Yeah.
comedy and make people laugh. I like that. I haven't gotten it myself. Like I'd love to try doing some stand up or something like that. I haven't quite crossed that threshold of being able to throw away all shame and not let like people's opinions affect me. If that makes sense.
Yo, I totally get you, man. Those guys are fucking ball busters to the max. I mean, the shit that they would do, it's just no way I would ever be able to do that. You know? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
him and I think Richard Richard would let somebody fuck him if it was for the show for comedy. That's how far I think he would go. You know?
Well, Benji let Perez Hilton stick his pinky in his
Yeah,
butthole, so
yeah,
that might have just taken the cake.
yeah. That's. Oof. I forgot
Actually,
about
some of
that.
the funniest shit. I hate to give her this much credit, but the Benji and Elisa Jordana shit was that's 10. As much as I hate her and don't want to give her the credit, like that song that they made together, "Online Sweethearts." You remember that?
Yeah. Well, you know, Robin's one of Lisa Giordano's
Yeah.
enemies. My friend Robin, the girl and my co-host.
What's that?
The girl, the co-host Robin, the one that
Yeah.
left right now. She's kind of Lisa
Yeah.
Giordano's number one enemy.
Oh, really? That's fucking
we
funny.
have
How
we have
can
we
you
have
explain
his
some of that to me?
we have history with Lisa Giordana. Yeah, it's breaking up.
Give me a hint of some of it.
Well, Lisa Giordana, she had a okay back when Paw Trash was at its height, dude. We had a lot of people here, right? So we had Joey Boots, and we had like shows every night, and we had like a pretty big, group of guys here, right? So Lisa Jordana started doing the Spreecast show, and she started her own little show. It was called Kermit and Friends. Actually,
Kermit and Friends?
the guy that
Yeah.
does our show here, um, Kleenex on Fridays, a little plug for him. Kleenex, he was part of that. He still is part of that group. It's called Kermit and Friends. They got their own Discord. We used to go to war with these guys. We used to have fights with them all the time because we just did not get along
Holy
with Lisa
shit.
Jordana. We did not get along with her. Joey Boots would call her names, like it was just bad, dude. It was just bad, man. We used to go. They used to come into our chats, and we were just,
That sounds fucking awesome.
oh my god, that's back. This was like 3, 4 years ago when Joey was alive, and we would just have these fights, dude, with these people. And now we're all good, because there's like a lot of people that have left, a lot of the trolls, and we got one of their guys doing a show over here now. Even though he says he's not part of them, I think he still is. He was their mayor at one point. They had a mayor, the mayor of Kermitown, and
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So we have history with Lisa Giordano, man. She used to come in. She's been on the podcast airwaves a
Oh
few
man.
times. Yeah, yeah.
Have you interviewed her?
I haven't interviewed her, but she had issues with my friend Robin, the girl. Robin, the girl that joined us, but she's having to take
Oh,
care of her
that's right.
kids right now. She's
Yeah.
Wish's girlfriend, the owner of the website.
Oh, okay.
That's his girlfriend, and they had issues, man. She used to be kind of like her sidekick, kind not sidekick, but she used to always be on her panel. Do you remember Spreecast? How they would have like four cameras at one time, kind of like Google Hangouts. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She used to be on her panel all the time, but she would get a little jealous of Robin because she was getting a lot of attention. So she turned on her, and she's turned on a lot of people. She's turned on girls that I've known, Crystal, because if someone would get a little too popular, she would turn right away, you know. And then she pretty much turned on the whole community.
Well, well, David.
Huh?
Mhm. Oh, I was gonna say David Arquette's the one that got her pretty much kicked off the Stern Show.
Did he? I don't know that one. What happened?
Yeah, because it was one day where he called in and he was like, "Oh, I hate Lisa, I hate Lisa," and he was like, "Howard, you gotta just freaking ban her." And Howard was like, "Oh, really, David? You want me to ban her? You want me to ban her?" And David was like, "Yeah, yeah, you gotta get rid of her. We're all sick of her." And then from that point
You
forward,
never heard
Howard
from her
stuck to
again?
it.
Oh shit! I don't
Yeah,
remember ever
yeah,
hearing
never
that.
heard from her again.
No
Arquette
shit.
squashed her
I wonder why.
because people hated her. Like I thought it was funny, but I know what you're talking about. She was just trying to use Benji,
Yeah.
and Benji obviously has problems, but I don't think he's like a bad guy or anything. And it was obviously making him mental. So it was good for the radio and good for the show, but
Well,
she's like evil or something. I don't
well,
know.
do you remember when he went to Howard and he said he was going to start a podcast and Howard put the kibosh on it?
No.
Yeah, he went to Howard and said, "Yeah, I'm going to start a podcast." And Howard's like, "Why are you going to start a podcast? That's for food." So Howard kind of told him like, "No, you can't." That's why Lisa Jordana started her Spreecast because the plan was for her to do it, and then Benji would jump in every now and then, but then it just became her. Well, actually, he was supposed to come to Pod Trash. Yeah,
Oh.
Benji was supposed to come to Pod Trash, but Howard put the Howard put the stop on that. Yeah, yeah, and that was
Yeah,
yeah, and that was another huge
that's
fight that
wild.
happened. That was another huge fight that happened between Wush and Lisa Jordana because she came in talking all kinds of shit, saying that Wush was a liar, that Benji was not supposed to come here, and he was like, "You're fucking out of your mind. He was supposed to come here. I got receipts, bitch." He's like, "Don't come here with that attitude, you know, because she would come into our fucking." She would come into our community fucking trying to wave her dick around, dude, and that's just ain't happening, you know?
Yeah, you could tell she was. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be famous. Obviously, a lot of people on the Stern Show and a lot of people that do podcasts would love to be famous, but somebody like her that's just willing to go to any length and is just willing to like get in a romantic relationship with somebody so they can go on a show. And you could tell when she'd go on there, she's more into sucking up to Howard and sucking up to Howard and complimenting Beth and doing stuff like that rather than being with Benji or being about him. And then the way that before they broke up, the way that she was like putting him down and stuff like that. Holy crap! Like if I was in a relationship with somebody like that, I'd probably blow my brains out.
She totally wanted to be part of that world. Totally wanted to be part of. Do you remember that? I think Benji did something. I forgot what it was, but he did something to get Elisa Jordana so that she was able to say that she was a writer for the Howard Stern show. If you notice for like her Twitter or whatever the fuck she has, like she always says, "Oh, I was a writer for the Howard Stern show." No, you weren't. Benji fucking got you that title by doing something crazy for her. That's how much this guy was in love with her.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't remember exactly what he did, but I remember thinking to myself, "Oh my god, this is fucking bullshit. Why is somebody with no talent able to just, flash their tits around and come in and get all these credits?" And the people from other media sources like believe bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think David Arquette was feeling the same way that we are right now about it, and just noticing that it's just complete usury and she's just a scumbag.
Yeah, man.
But it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It was
what,
entertaining,
what, what was
man.
funny? when they came out that song and the online the shirt.
Okay, say that again, bro, because you broke
I
up.
still fucking laugh about that all. Benji, like he said this line in that song "Online Sweethearts" that made no sense. Like he says, "I went berserk." I don't know if he's trying to say I went berserk
Oh,
or what,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
says
yeah.
I went berserk.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
still laugh about that when I think of it. That's my favorite Benji moment. I went berserk. Oh man,
Yeah, dude. That
this
guy's.
turned into like a stern memory
Yeah,
hour.
right. Yes, man. Whew. It's been a good hour, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck, dude, we gotta do this again sometime. You should come on my
Definitely.
show again. We'll do like a
Yes. Yeah, that
round
way we
table or
can get
something.
that. Yeah, that way we can get really into the nitty gritty of the who.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. We could do some kind of like panel or something, or make it based on something, or we'll talk about stuff. But we'll do it, whatever it
Definitely,
is.
man. I'm sorry about Robin. She was supposed to be here the whole time, but she had to watch some movie with her kids, man. She has kid time tonight, so.
Oh, no worries. Shout out to Robin and all the Power Trash people. Keep doing your thing. It's awesome.
Thanks, Daniel. So you got anything to plug, bro? Or you have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, well, I just want to plug my show, End of Days Radio, endofdaysradio.com. Get us anywhere you get podcasts. Get us on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel. That's where I do the live show with the video and everything. Again, inspired by Howard TV. So, when I saw the puppets and everything, I was like, oh man, that's just too good. So I had to get into video. And also, endofdaysradio.com. You can listen to the 24-hour stream of the show. And you can go there and listen to the archives. And other than that, shit, I am going to be probably booked in the future. I don't know when, but
You're gonna do what?
I do write a little bit,
You're gonna
like on the creepy shit that goes on in the world. But what was that?
Can you say that again? Dude, my internet's so fucked up today.
Yeah, I know. It's doing it to me too. But I'm planning to probably write a book eventually,
Nice.
and it's going to be about it's going to be about how aliens are fake and they're really just like these demonic motherfuckers.
I really do want there to be aliens, though, dude. I want that. I want to fly in a spaceship.
I don't blame you. We all want like Star Trek and Star Wars to be real. But,
Yeah, we want it now, dude. I want it now.
Maybe next time I come on here, I can just give you, if it doesn't bore the shit out of everybody, maybe I can give my whole argument of why I think aliens are bullshit.
Well, definitely, dude. That'd be fun. Maybe next time I could get Hansy on, man. I wanted him to come on, but
I will.
He was not having it today.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like meeting or talking to anybody from Stern's show is like, I'm a huge fan, so I get all giddy.
Yeah. I'll try to get a Gonzo Shitcock to call in too.
Right on. I'd like to talk to him too. He's fucking hilarious the way he tweak Eric.
Oh my god, yeah. You could just sit here and pick his brain about that for hours, man.
Yeah, exactly. All that bunny ranch shit. All that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey man, get into that Discord, dude, because that's a really good
penis for a guy that's like a foot long.
Daniel, you gotta start
like this large dick. He's like a foot and a half tall.
Daniel, you gotta really do a Discord, bro. That way you can have all your people
I don't know why,
of End of Days in there, man. Daniel?
What was that?
You gotta get a Discord going, bro.
That?
You gotta get a Discord.
I know. I'm meaning to. I am gonna get a Discord set up. I'm just like, I gotta get it so I can do the special effects and all that stuff, because that stuff's awesome.
Yeah, and then like you can have all your people in there, man.
The last part.
Yeah, that way you can have all your people in there, like Todd and everybody. You can just have your little community in there, because you got a lot of cool people in there, man.
Yeah, that's kind of the direction that I'm headed in. I want to make it, I kind of told you about this last time we talked for a few hours, but I'm trying to make it a little bit more interactive and more about the fans, and kind of get like a little bit of a whack pack going, or at least a panel or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the direction I absolutely want to head in, because I find that to be really entertaining.
Discord is the way to go, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Discord.
Okay, right on. Yeah, Wolfman. He does have a show. He uses Discord. He's the first person to tell me about it. But if you want to connect with that guy, you can jump in on his show.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's like a 47 mic 47 something like that. I'll have to text it to you or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
you can
Or
text it
send
to
it.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries.
Okay, right on.
All right. Hey, man, thanks again for coming on, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Andy. I'm glad you're still thinking about me. I'm still thinking about you, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right, thanks, man. Take it easy. Gabe. Drink plenty of apple, orange juice. All right, peace.
OJ, I love me some OJ Simpson. Peace.
Peace, man. That was Daniel from End of Days Radio. Radio. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, well, Robin never came back. Robin, how? Man, Robin, you left me hanging. You left me hanging. Is there anybody left? Is there anybody left in Pod Trash World? Anybody left? Anybody else? Anywhere else? Let's see here. I'll hang out for a bit, see if anybody joins. Anybody on YouTube want to join me? I'm at Pod Trash Discord if you want to join. I think everybody's gone. We never come on Mondays. We usually come on Sundays or Saturdays. But it was a good show, guys. Daniel's always blessed. And I love it. I enjoy it. If I'm not listening to Pod Trash, I'm listening to End of Days Radio. Thanks. Just you want to jump in, just master? Say hi. Jump into the live shows, bro. Just do it. And tell me about this Ethernet cable you can send me for free. I'll take anything for free except the coronavirus. I want to take that, bro. I draw the limit at the corona. Unless it's a nice cold corona made in Mexico, bottled in the United States. That's what I'm saying. Let me see here if anybody's on YouTube's. Oh, nope. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Nobody's on my YouTube chat. So for now, I'll play a music, see if anybody. Do, 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 do. Give me a minute.